You know, whether it's tattoos or painting your plane, you should find an artist you like and you love their work. You share your interest or vision or preferences, and then you just have to let them run with it.
We got to talk about the paint because the artist is awesome and he's also from your area.
For almost 10 years, I've been friends with an artist named Matt Kress, who lives right in downtown St. Petersburg. We were hanging out the week I bought this plane. He took a look at it and he said, looks like you need a paint job. Like, yeah, I know. He's like, are you going to do it? Do it this year? I'm like, we'll see. There's long waits. I'm trying to figure out how much everything will cost. He said, well, can I paint it? I said, it's like, do you need to call the FAA, get approval? I'm like, I don't know, but let's start with the paint shop. I called a paint shop, we won't name them, and they made the very reasonable decision of saying, no, we're not letting a third party come in here. We're not letting an artist paint between our layers. Warranty, liability problems. I said, wow, I respect your business decision. And I called the next shop, and then eventually Ace Aircraft Finishing in Bartow, Florida. They said, well, can you show us some of his work? All right, that's positive. They looked at his Instagram, they said, okay, this is awesome. We won Best Contemporary Paint Job last year at Sun and Fun and the year before. We want to do it again. So we would love to speak with the artists. As things progress, they purchased a couple sample cans of the paint he was going to use. He's using rattle-cans, handheld shaker cans of spray paint.
But it wasn't spray paint from Home Depot. I just want to make sure everybody's clear.
Right, it's like a premium graffiti paint line from a company called Montana Colors. It's the 94 series. And so Ace Aircraft Finishing had a leftover piece of a tail. They prepared it, brought it to base white. They sprayed a couple of his things. They made them overlap. They did separate areas. They cleared it, and they let it sit 4 months because there was a 7-month wait to get in. And they said, this has to hold together at least 4 months before we could actually agree to this, but we'll put you on the list. And it held together. And so we had the green light to go forward. And then it was Matt's time. Matt is a well-known mural artist. He paints paintings as well by hand, but he does a lot of prominent murals, large-scale murals, very colorful, lots of geometric shapes and portraits and so on. But Matt had never done anything this three-dimensional. He hadn't spray painted a vehicle ever, and he hadn't worked through curves or had to spray upside down. So he ran into just technical challenges of working with the format of his medium or his subject. Before Matt's process began, he started talking to me about a mock-up and ideas. And I said, well, I like the geometric shapes. He's like, cool, I'll do a design, I'll do a mock-up, I'll put all the time in, I'll show you something. I said, you know what? Don't. He's like, well, yeah, we'll make a plan. I said, no plan.
Gotta let an artist be an artist, right?
Well, that's it. Yeah. You know, whether it's tattoos or painting your plane, you should find an artist you like and you love their work. You share your interest or vision or preferences, and then you just have to let them run with it. An artist as prolific as Matt isn't there to be micromanaged. I'm a warlord. I would be, if I was digging in too much, I'd be making a lower quality experience for myself and for him. So I just let go of the controls completely. I said, do whatever you want. Geometric shapes preferred, but he's like, okay, I'll send you progress updates every few days. I said, no. I told him and the paint shop, I want a total blackout on this. I want to have no clue. I don't want to see it on a post. I don't want to see anything. Share it with people that won't share it with me, but I'm not allowed to see it until I pick it up.
This plane is totally asymmetric. There is not one balanced paint scheme anywhere in this plane, and we're going to show you some camera crane shots going over the top of this where you can see it's totally different colors on both sides, so it's really cool. Check that out. But tell me what his process was. Like, how did he do this? Because you told me about he had the base white on it, and then what was his process after that?
So the paint Matt uses dries very quickly. It's in like 1 to 2 minutes. He was able to do potentially months of work in under 1 month because he could tape off just 1 or 2 sides, sometimes 3, of one of his shapes, spray and let it overspray, walk to another area, put 1 or 2 pieces of tape down, spray, and again, let it overspray the boundary. Come back here, pull his tape, just mark 1 boundary, spray and let it overspray. Again, someplace he had to lay down all the boundaries, but because he was able to overspray and work 2 areas at a time, alternating between them with them drying in just a minute or 2, he was able to move very quickly. He ran into challenges when it was time to shoot the underside of the aircraft. He calls me up, he says, do I have to paint the bottom of the plane? I said, well, Matt, do you want to know when this plane is flying over you? He said, yeah. And he said, well, how else will other people know, like, this plane has been painted if they're not at the airport, not on Instagram? Like, you got to paint the bottom then. He's like, I got to paint the bottom. When he first started, he realized his cans don't function upside down. He's laying on a cart underneath the plane, you know, having trouble with the technology. But then he figured out he could just spray it on an angle. And get enough of it up there.
Cool. So you say it took him like about a month. Huh?
Yeah, 3 weeks and change for the color portion.
Okay.
Which everybody thought it was going to take 3 times that. But
Right.
his technique of, you know, overspray next area really worked out.
Now, did he do the clear coat or then the paint shop did the clear
The
coat?
paint shop then did the clear coat.
Okay.
So the paint shop is standing behind the paint.
Right.
And they welcomed Matt back to work on more aircraft together with them.